Okay, so we're doing a little bit of a bonus video here, and Jude gets so excited for the walk. Now, I showed his guardian how to add the special twist of the leash and went over my 5 rules for a structured walk, but it really doesn't matter for him because he is so excited, and he starts biting at the leash and jumping up and pulling, and it's very frustrating for the guardian. Now, this is going to seem contrary to most people, but the way that I work with dog psychology is by putting the dog in a stage scenario or situation like we are now. We're going to go for a walk. Now, we're actually not going to go for a walk, but we're going to go through recreating the elements of the walk. And the first sign of the dog getting overstimulated, too worked up, too excited, or pulling or doing anything we don't like, instead of correcting him or telling him what we want to do or getting mad, we're going to drop the leash and the guardian's going to come and sit down in this position that she's at right now. So now the timing of this has to be precise. You have to do it, stop within 3 seconds. But we're not micromanaging him. We're not punishing him. We're not correcting him. And the trick for this is to start practicing this a long time before you're actually going for a walk. And actually, the best thing to do is practice it at times when you're not having no intention of going for a walk. So we went through this kind of with a leashing process. The first step was just walking to where the leash was. As soon as the dog got in front of her, she turned and walked and sat back down. So it took several steps back and forth, but eventually she got to the leash and she put the dog in a sit and put the leash on. Then we started walking towards the door. As soon as he started getting excited, she would drop the leash and sit down. Actually, as soon as we were in this position, as soon as we started walking over here, as soon as the dog walked in front of her, because whoever's in front is the leader, then she would just drop the leash and go and sit down. And eventually, by practice, so if we set this up an hour before, normally we only have 20 minutes to do this. And then the dog doesn't cooperate, and we get frustrated, but we have to take the dog out, and we take the dog out with the wrong energy. So if you practice this at times when you have 5 minutes to kill, that's a great time to practice it. Or if you're actually going to go for a walk, start practicing this like an hour before your walk. We want to get, he's like, it's another drill. Oh, we're walking. We want to almost catch him by surprise. We don't want to be bored with it. We want this process to be boring, however. All right, so now the guardian's going to go ahead and grab the leash because he's completely calm. And she's going to put it on, he's going to stay on her left, and she's going to turn away from him. There you go. And she's going to walk back, and I'm going to walk through the steps. So the first step is him looking at the door is too much. So what we're going to do is she's going to stop right there and tell him to sit.
Sit.
So now he's not even looking at the door. And you see even that, he's protesting a little bit, he's a little bit whimpering. Take a half step forward to get him to come with you. Make a kiss. There you go. Tell him to sit.
Sit.
Now, if she had treats right here, she could touch his nose with the treat and get him to sit down. But we're not moving on to the next step until he does this step first. So go ahead and give him another firm sit.
Sit.
So normally, now this is going to be an educational video, so we're not going to stop. But at this point, if she's practicing on her own, this would be a point where she would stop because he didn't do what she wanted the first time. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to go over here. I'm going to give her a couple of treats. She's going to hold her hand out behind her, and I'm going to put a couple of treats in there. And then we're back up. And so now she can use the treat as an incentive. So touch his nose with the treat. Tell him to sit.
Sit.
When he sits, put it in his mouth, say sit.
Sit.
Now she's going to take a step to her, turn to her right. So she's going to turn one, and then tell him to sit again.
Sit.
Touch his nose with a treat. Put it in and say sit. Up, up. No jumping though. Right there.
Sit.
Now turn to face me and take a half step and sit again.
Sit.
Touch him with, there you go. Now at this point, and this is again, we're going to continue moving forward because I just want to show you how excited he gets. But you see now he's not parallel with her. He's perpendicular to her. Now he's actually facing her. So she's going to do a pirouette, and we're going to go through that whole process again. So take a step towards your kitchen. There you go. And then turn to face the wall. There you go. Now use your treat. Tell him to sit.
Sit.
Touch his nose, literally touch his nose. And now turn to your right so you're facing the next wall. And take a half step. There you go. Now touch his nose with the treat. Tell him to sit.
Sit.
All right, now go ahead and turn to face. And normally we give him a treat. We should put the treat. There you go. But you see how now he turns sideways. Now go ahead and start taking a couple steps towards. And I'm just gonna, so we can just see how crazy he is. Go ahead and walk all the way to the door. Don't worry about the treats, but try to keep him next to you. It's actually considerably better than what he was doing. Before he was just getting so worked up. So, okay, so let's go ahead and drop the leash, and let's go on back, come back inside, and I'll kind of wrap up this video. So what we want to do is, as soon as he shows any activity or exhibits any behavior we don't want, excitement, pulling on the leash, facing the wrong direction or whatever, we stop, we drop the leash, we go sit down in here, we watch a little TV, and we wait for him to return to a completely calm and balanced state of mind. Usually, this is pretty calm right here, but a lot of times what we like is him sitting or laying down. Now, this is going to take a whole lot of repetitions. This is why, again, we want to do this at times when you're not going for a walk. And there we go. Good job, buddy. And starting way before we're actually going to take him for a walk. But by breaking down individual steps and helping him practice and stopping with immediate or precise stoppage every time he starts doing the wrong thing, eventually he figures out. So when I get excited, that's when we stop going for a walk. And I want to go for a walk, so I won't get excited. Now, it's going to take a lot of practice, but the dog's energy that it has in the house is the energy it's going to carry with them on the walk. So if we don't take care of this ahead of time, you can use a prong collar, which I would never recommend, or anything, and it's not going to really make much of a difference. You're still going to be pulling and fighting him the whole time. Now, once we get to the point where we're outside, there are a whole bunch of other things are going on, but the martingale will give you a lot more control, and his energy being calm will give you a lot more control. So basically for this, like I said, I want you to put him on the leash, and as soon as he walks in front of you, you're going to do continually walking over there, stop at the edge of these shelves, facing that direction, make him sit, give him a treat. Then turn so you're facing that direction, make him sit, give him a treat. Then turn so you're facing this direction, and he's got to sit parallel next to you, facing the same direction. As soon as he moves away, drop the leash and come and sit back down. And eventually, once he stays seated parallel next to you, they're going to take one step and pause and make him sit. And you keep repeating this process all the way until we get all the way to the door. And then when we're doing it at the door, I'm going to actually give you this and so I can, there you go, careful. So when we get to the door, I would actually stop right here and make him sit right here. And one of the things I did was I went through the process of opening the door. So see how his ears went up? That sound is linked to the door opening. So I go like this. So it just naturally draws him forward. So what I would do is stop, sit here, and then again, I'm going to break this into individual steps. I reach for the handle. He gets excited. I would just, now at this point, he's probably going to be a lot calmer by the time we get here. So you can just reach. If he gets up, tell him to sit. But maybe have a rule. If I have to tell you to sit more than 3 times, then I drop it, and we go back and we reset the whole exercise. Now, this is really cumbersome, but this is a permanent solution to the problem as opposed to trying to micromanage it with a prong collar or shock collar or a whole bunch of corrections or getting upset at him. He gets frustrated, and the human's frustrated, and nobody's having a good time. Everybody. I need you here for the wrap-up of this video. Come here. How about if we go that way? Up, sit. Jude, sit. These are some tips and tricks that you can also use if your dog is too excited for a walk, like Jude here.